with the recruits coming up, like high school students, what are like some do's and don'ts you would say to help them when it's talking about NIL?
I would say the first thing is do your research. And you need to sit with yourself and figure out what you want. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's NIL experience is gonna be different. So, you know, if do start building your brand, right? Build your brand, share your story, get comfortable sharing your story. Because the idea of putting yourself out there it's a task, right? So it's not even about the post and how you post it and what it looked like. It's the idea of you putting yourself out there. So go ahead and start getting comfortable putting yourself out there. Um, I would say don't, walk into a coach office and say how much you're gonna pay me.
Mm,
And I would say do your research. Like if a school has a collective or not.
mhm,
You can research that. You can ask questions about what is the NIL situation like here? You
mhm,
can ask what are student athletes earning in NIL and how are they going about earning NIL money because it's some Power Five women's basketball programs that are, very high level,
mhm.
but they not necessarily relying on collective dollars to retain recruits or to get recruits. They're like, you can come here and that shouldn't deter you from considering at school.
Yeah.
So just really do your research on schools, but the main thing is know this, your NIL journey is up to you
Mhm.
and it's different than everybody else's. And and yeah, like, start building your brand aside from the school. Like the school that you attend and your NIL, they don't go hand to hand, right? Um if you are gonna work with a collective, you know, that that should be secondary to you choosing the program that you're going to go to
Right.
because you want to go work be around people that are going to help you and you want to go in the best situation for you and then NIL is secondary. If you build your brand the right way, then you can make money no matter what school you're at.
Wow, that's really good because now it's about of okay, who can pay me the most instead of going somewhere where I know I'm going to play, contribute, and enjoy it. And now you have people that's in the transfer portal so much. And is it about like the money part of it? Is it because you're unhappy with school? And so it is very important, like you said, to do your research because as long as you have a great brand, like Caitlin Clark can go anywhere and still make money because of her brand, but that's probably second nature to her when it comes to playing this actual sport. And so I know that's a big thing that I've been talking with my assistant coaches, trying to figure out more just about the whole NIL situation. And that kind of touch on my on our last question is like, how can NIL help colleges with the transfer portal?
It depends. It depends. It can't help everybody,
Mhm,
right? So some schools have collectives, some schools don't.
mhm,
Um, I don't think necessarily women's basketball players, majority of women's basketball players are transferring or in the portal because of money,
mhm,
right? There's some of them, ones that have proven stats, that have proven production, and they may say, okay, let me see what other schools have to offer. But I
mhm,
don't think that's the biggest thing with the portal. So I mean, it depends on how much money you have. If you don't have any money, if the school collective doesn't have any money for the portal, then it won't help you at all when
mhm.
it comes to the portal. So it will kind of elaborate on what you mean about helping with the portal.
I just mean like just let's say it is like a lot bunch of power it's a bunch of Power Five student athletes that's in the portal. Like what can NIL I say more so transform their image or how can it help the colleges go for different players that are coming from a bigger school to like another big school or just, in that type of realm, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, it depends on the situation of the school.
Mhm,
Um, I think they should always be building their brand regardless. Um, if the Yeah, like it depends on the situation in the school. Every situation is different.
mhm,
And if you have a collective where you can raise money, you can get higher players. Um, and every player have a different intention.
Mhm.
So, you know, some a player may have chosen a school because of NIL money from the collective, right?
Mhm.
But NIL alone is not money, it's about their brand. So let's say if I'm a student athlete and I was playing at a place that was, let's say I was playing in North Carolina, right? But I'm from Texas. And um, I hit the portal. I may consider a Texas school because um one, Texas schools do have a lot of money.
Mhm.
And also me going home is good for my brand because I have more support,
Yeah.
at home.
Mhm.
So there could be more NIL opportunity me playing close to home. Or let's say I was at a school that was in the middle of nowhere and there wasn't a lot of um support from local businesses at that school. If I go to a school that has a lot of local support or is in a nice city. So I mean if I'm recruiting for, let's say, a school in Vegas or a school in like St. John's, like I'll be selling NIL like crazy. If I'm recruiting for a school in like a place like LA or a big city where a lot of money runs through that city, then I'll be selling NIL, not necessarily saying you can get paid this amount of money, but look how many businesses that you can work with. Look how many supporters we have, right? I think what schools can work on when it comes to NIL, and it depends on the tier of the school. If it's a mid-major school, if it's a high major school, every school has different a level of resources.
Uh,
So if I'm a coach at a mid-major school, I will be really, really focused on developing my fan base. Because if I have a big fan base, that's more NIL dollars, right? If you don't have a fan base, if you're not selling out your season tickets, then you can't prove that you have NIL support, because you can't prove that you could possibly have NIL support because there's nobody at your games. You know what I'm saying? So some coaches believe that they have to turn into fundraisers. And I don't necessarily think that is the case. That could be the case. But the main thing is like just garnishing support and then being able to say, okay, we have this area of support. We have this many supporters, right? If you know you have 5,000 season ticket holders, that means you have 5,000 people, at least 5,000 people that are willing to support women's basketball, right? And some of those season ticket holders are the owners of businesses, or they are connected to owners of business. You know what I'm saying? So it just, it's a lot of different ways. Every school is different, but the staffs have to be creative in figuring out how can coming to this school can help build your brand. And it doesn't have to be, we can pay you through this collective. It can be this opportunity can increase your brand, you know.
Yeah, no, that's definitely such great information about it. I'm at a mid-major at Murray State, and so that's one thing we're helping with build brand is just like building yourself up. We're building our fan base up and just different things of that nature to have certain donors or certain people that are, like you said, local level business owner and different things to come out support and show the girls like, hey, like, keep working. We see you different ways of building your brand that way, I would say. And so a lot of the information that you gave me today, I would, definitely bring it back to them and just show them and tell them different ways. And so I really appreciate you carving out time and introducing me just a tiny piece. I know when I get to the NL, it can get very broad, but just giving me a tiny piece of, what you go through daily and what you look for in different programs and how you help different players. And so I really appreciate you, like I said, taking time out today to help me learn some different things. And we'll definitely be in touch, as I will have certainly much more, questions about it. And I really appreciate you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Reach out anytime. I'm happy to talk NIL or, talk basketball in general.
Thank you so much. I'll be in touch.